Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see you there. I've been so absorbed reading this book that I didn't even notice that you came in. While you're here, though, do you mind if I read it to you? It's a simple story with a really cool twist near the end of the book. If you don't mind, I'd love to read it to you. Alright then. If you're good with reading, then I'll begin right now. In a place much like our own, there was a small town, which looked like any other small town one might find. The only difference being is that the mayor was known as the semi-barbaric mayor.
Now this mayor was pretty much the same as any other mayor, making him semi-normal, but his flair for the dramatic caused him to be known as the semi-barbaric mayor. When a criminal was found guilty, and the crime committed was worthy of sentencing the criminal to death's row, the mayor never missed the opportunity to throw the criminal into the king's arena. Now, the king's arena is actually just a normal room with 2 doors, but he had a flair for the dramatical, so he called it the king's arena. Now, the king's arena was not like any other arena that we have today. They did not play sports or fight each other for the sake of winning money. In fact, there was no fighting at all. The criminal would enter the arena and would be faced with 2 doors. These doors were completely identical in every way, from their looks to their size and to even how loud they sounded when they opened. The criminal would walk up to one of the 2 doors, and he would have to pick which one he wanted to open. Behind one door, there stood a beautiful woman who would often become engaged to the person who opened the door. This would allow the person who was unfortunate enough to be in that situation to be pardoned for whatever he had done, and the day would end with merriment and partying.
Now, if the criminal opened the other door, instead of the woman coming out of the door, you would see the most ferocious tiger. The tiger would come out and it would tear the person to shreds instantly. Everyone watching would be horrified, and it was quite a sad and disgusting event.
The mayor loved to have everyone from petty pickpocketers to serial killers treated to this most peculiar form of punishment. He did this because he got bored of criminals just being thrown in prison or put on death row without any sort of suspense or dramatic turn of events. Now in this city, there lived a normal boy who did fairly normal things. Now, the only thing this boy did not have in common with the other boys of his town is that he had a secret relationship with the mayor's own daughter. This relationship had started when the 2 had met in school. They started talking like any relationship, and soon a deeper feeling began to stir in their hearts.
Now, this relationship was going wonderfully until the mayor found out about the secret relationship. He then had the boy taken, grabbed by his officials, and was eventually going to be thrown into the king's arena.
After being taken prisoner, he decided to call his girlfriend and tell her what her father had done to him, and told her that her father was planning to throw him into the king's arena the next day. The girl listened to her boyfriend tell her what happened. She looked shocked and worried. The day had come for the boy to be thrown into the king's arena and to be tested. Now, through her family riches, she was able to find out which door had the tiger behind it. That night, she could not sleep. She knew he always kept his phone with him, and that she could alert him and tell him the secret of which door he should open. If she told him to open the door with the girl behind it, she would have to watch her lover fall in love with another girl. On the other hand, if she told him to open the door with the tiger behind it, she would have to watch her boyfriend be torn to shreds in front of her own eyes. On and on these thoughts festered in her mind, and it was until much later in that night that she came to her decision. Once the boy realized he was locked in the arena, he knew the only way of getting out of this situation was to play by the mayor's rules. He had to approach one of the doors and hope that he would be spared the tiger's wrath. Hello?
The one on the right.
And thus concludes our story. So, what did you think? If you're wondering what I think came out of the door, I don't know. In fact, the author himself doesn't even know what came out of the door. He decides to let the reader determine what they think came out of the door. Was it the lady? Or was it the tiger?